because of COVID-19 pandemic, we are all undergone ECQ. And most of us claim to be bored. Bored in the house, we are in the house bored, right? And thanks to God, our boredom got a good company. Our smartphones. So, we spend so much time lying in our bed, sitting in our couch, Facebooking, IGing, TikToking, Twittering, whatever we are doing from these social media platforms. Question is, are we really bored? Truth is, when we are in our phone, we never get bored. We even multitask, and multitasking isn't that helpful to our mental health. According to neuroscientist Dr. Lebiston, which being cited in this podcast, these technological platforms keep us on switching our attention, in which our brain has to engage into chemical switch, which using up our brain nutrients, which we need to accomplish a task. When we are doing 3 to 5 things at the same time, he added, we are actually doing nothing because our brain doesn't work that way. It only depletes our brain cells. Sad to note, these days we are all guilty in multitasking. Facebooking, switch to IGing, switch to YouTubing, switch to watching Netflix. We switch, and our brain seems to shout, hey, focus! We did it so because we feel bored, right? So we indulge too much of our time on social media platforms, which these platforms are basically designed with a neural circuitry of recreational drugs. This is according to the science of informatics, to keep consumers using them as much as possible. These platforms' notifications, likes, shares affect our brain reward area. Social media interaction is like a syringe of dopamine being injected straight in our system. These facts are totally not healthy and not brilliant. Do you agree with me? Alright, let's go back to us being bored. The ECQ is extended and boredom still on play, right? This time we are bored, and let's put it on the full screen and minimize social media. According to Dr. Sandy Mann, a boredom researcher, quoted over audio in this podcast, stating, once we are bored, we start daydreaming. And when we daydream, we allow our minds to wander, and we start minding things beyond conscious. And we eventually make connections to our subconscious, which is awesome, she said. Awesome indeed, because in our subconscious, that is where memories, future plans, and other personal thoughts and experiences resides. And these are the very source of our own creativity. Ms. Mamos Zomorodi, a journalist who's speaking in this podcast, made a research with 100 humans whom she challenged to minimize or cut social media using from their system in 5 days. And in this short time, she gathered an impressive result. Through testimonies of her respondents, she proves that an individual can become brilliant if they minimize or cut social media from their system. For example, one of her respondents, a 43-year-old woman who claimed to become healthier after she reduced her time spent on social media and converted it into working out. And a teenager who claimed to be awakened from mental hibernation after deleting social media apps from his phone and was able to submit Class A papers in school. Impressive, isn't it? Consequently, I tried it myself 3 days ago. I scheduled Facebooking and IGing 2 after dinner, and reduce my Netflix time to 2 hours from spending 8 to 12 hours in it daily. So doing, I get so bored and decided to buy a paint and painted my mother's store. I felt fulfilled and make my mama happy. And I got a chance to make this talk. And hopefully I could take these changes too long. According to CEO Ground Zero podcast saying, CEOs nowadays put creativity as number one leadership competency. So shout out to my students. Don't waste too much time with your phone. It will just hinder your brain from trying amazing things. Let yourselves be bored and be brilliant. Let us all be taskmasters to our phones and give ourselves time to daydream and unleash that brilliance within us. And that's it. See you next time. Bye.